Today we are going to be going over pins. Now, like if you have watched my fork video, I mentioned that all pieces can do a fork, but pins is an exception. Pins, the pieces that can only do a pin are the pieces that control lines. So the pieces that can only do a pin is the queen, the rook, and the bishop. As I mentioned, I think it's important to tell you which pieces can do these tactical methods, because then you're not trying to look for other like especially in puzzles, you're not trying to create a pin with a knight because that just does not work. Okay, so what is a pin? There's actually two different types of pins in chess. There's an absolute pin and a relative pin. Now, an absolute pin, it involves the king. And we're going to go over a few examples right now of an absolute pin. So what is a pin in general? A pin is when you attack a piece and it can't move because the king is behind, because the king is the most important piece on the board. So in this position, notice how the white king and knight, they're on the same line here. If we move the rook to a4 and place it on the same line, you can notice that we are attacking a low-ranked piece, and the low-ranked piece cannot, well, in this case, you absolutely cannot move the knight because you're not allowed to give up the king in chess. And that's like how I try to make my students remember like the difference between an absolute pin and a relative pin. A relative pin is when the king is not involved. So in an absolute pin, the piece that is pinned cannot move at all because you are not, in the rules of chess, you are really not allowed to give up the king. So in this position, really sad for white, but his king is really far away. Even if he tries and starts moving towards the knight, he's just one move behind, and we have won this piece.